I'd like West Ham to stay up, obviously from a purely selfish point of view, purely funny point of view. That would be nice to see Spurs go down, but you've got to give credit where credit's due. As Mo says, an irrelevant club. They're in the Big Six by default. They're a pathetic outfit. They can blame injuries all they like. You shouldn't be getting relegated, regardless of how many injuries you've got. I know, whatever. CLs here and there, but come on.
Decker's left, and then it all changed. I think that Tottenham will stay up. I think West Ham will go down. And as mad as that sounds, I'd rather have Tottenham stay up.
No!
Than West Ham. I
know. You're going to get pillared for that in the comments. There's no
blasphemy, yeah? Blasphemy.
Want to stand out like the freestyle pros? Then Premier Baller was built for you. 120 elite level skills to learn and master. Professional step-by-step training created by top UK freestyler Jay Rosa. This is an elite online academy for serious ballers. 10% off your first month right now with the code BALLER10. Your game is about to change. Spurs get a massive 3 points at Villa Park. They turn them over 2-1. Djurbi goes mad. Unai Emery may well have just said good evening and good night to West Ham stay in the Premier League. Unfortunately, Mark, we're going to break this one down. Huge win, though. Again, Emery, again, always turns in these kind of performances at the business end of a season. I can't stand it.
It's mad.
He couldn't have chosen a worse team to do it against. Villa were atrocious, but we got to say Spurs were very good. And what can you say? Djurbi's come in and he's got back-to-back wins at Spurs. That's the first time they've done that since the opening 2 games of the season. Mental stuff, mate.
I understand that, that their last game prior to the one at Aston Villa when they won, they haven't won before that in the Premier League for like 4 or 5 months. Like for if you're a Tottenham fan, that's serious. Oh. If you're a Tottenham fan, it is one of the most surreal, storylines in football. Tottenham were in the Champions League final like a couple of years ago. And now they're resorted to this. Because you imagine a few years ago, if you told a Tottenham fan, hey, you know what, you'd be celebrating your arse off at Villa Park, and getting out of the relegation zone, they would snap your head off and like, you talking out your head. It is a crazy storyline, what's happening with Spurs. But yes, they have won back-to-back. Yes, it looks like that. Then they're out of the relegation zone. And for me, it's good to see teams who have quality players play in the Premier League, rather than you have someone like Ipswich. No disrespect, because I know that, they've bounced back to the Premier League. Congratulations to them. Fantastic. But if I ask the majority, not you, because you're an Arsenal supporter, you hate Tottenham, but if I ask the majority, who would you rather see, Ipswich, or would you rather see Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League? The majority, I am sure, will say, I want to see Tottenham because, they have a little bit of history. They've won a cup recently. They've got Premier League players. It's just a shame that it all went to shambles. I mean, I know a lot of it went down to their injuries, and you have to mention that. They've had an obscene amount of injuries, which has dented them. But, they've come back. They're getting some players back. James Maddison's going to be a key player to ensure that they really do stay up. But it's looking a little bit rosier, if I can say that. And it's not guaranteed. But, well done to Tottenham. I've had some crazy stuff there too.
Yeah, I think you have, mate. Everyone, it's not just me. Everyone hates Spurs. Everyone's laughing at Spurs.
Hate Spurs.
And I don't...
Yeah, it's great. It's fun.
Yeah, look, Premier League players or not aside, whatever else, I'd like West Ham to stay up, obviously from a purely selfish point of view, purely funny point of view. That would be nice to see Spurs go down, but you've got to give credit where credit's due. And to go out, you've got to go to Villa Park and get the win to get out of the relegation zone. West Ham had it in their hands and they got slapped up by Brentford. And now West Ham have to play Arsenal. And I don't think that'll be... I mean, West Ham pretty much only got themselves to blame. They were out of the relegation zone. Spurs were dead and buried. And they go to Brentford, get slapped up, don't even get a point. And then Spurs go and do the unthinkable, yet very thinkable, because it's an Unai Emery team. I want to shout out obviously, good couple of goals. Richarlison, he's got to be the most irritating player in the Premier League. I can't stand him. He is such a twat, but he comes up with some big, important goals. None more so than this one. This might be the most important goal of their season. Mark, Tottenham getting 6 points from 2 games. They've actually got the favourable fixtures left now. Is there a way back for West Ham? Are there going to be any more twists and turns? Because West Ham, in the form table under Nuno, they're 6th. So,
really,
yeah, they're a good side. Getting slapped up by Brentford aside, they are actually playing well and resolute stuff. It just looks like Spurs might have pulled off a masterstroke with Djurbi, and West Ham might have just left themselves too much to do. Can they get anything out of this? Can you see another twist coming?
No. I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, Tottenham have the more favourable fixtures. They now have some form behind them. This is factual, right? And West Ham have to fight. Every game is going to be a final for them. I mean, when they play Arsenal need to beat West Ham. This is just out of that, no doubt. And West Ham need to get something out of the game.
Yeah,
so that's going to be a really good game. Yeah, it's going to be a really good game. But honestly, I do think Arsenal will do them. I do think they will go down. That would be a shame. But
they've only got themselves to blame, haven't they? Really, I mean, they, a couple of seasons. You talk about Spurs being in the Champions League final a few seasons back. Well, only a couple of seasons ago, West Ham were winning in Europe, and they would do it, and they were top half of the table under Moyes. And this is what happens: you get rid of Moyes, and then you just bang in trouble. I mean, Spurs have now got Leeds at home, they've got Chelsea away, and they've got Everton at home, and West Ham have got Arsenal, then Newcastle away, and then Leeds. I actually think I can't really make a case for West Ham here. I think they're really, really in trouble. And I say they've only got themselves to blame, although they'll be pissed at Unai Emery. What was that from Villa? What was that from? Mate, Villa fans were going mental in the first half. They were absolutely mad. They could not believe what they were watching. Easily the worst half of football Aston Villa have produced this season. Absolutely shocking. I don't even think they got a shot off until like the 70th minute or something stupid like that. I mean, what the hell was that?
They've done all their best work in the beginning of the season. You always say it. Because I am an Unai Emery fan. I am. But you do say, and it is correct, like at the business end, it always just flops. I don't understand why. I mean, it's still a successful season for Aston Villa. They're still going to make Champions League. But look at how we do it. Look how Unai Emery, when he took over, Aston Villa were like in the bottom half of the table. Brought them straight back to the Champions League. Man's got skills. But he has... I don't know. It's just not consistent. And that is troubling. But that doesn't mean I've got to say, oh, yeah, Aston Villa needs to get rid of it because, just like West Ham got rid of Moyes, like that could be a huge mistake. Moyes is Moyes, isn't it? I mean, when you remove that, he just won the European Cup. Which one was it? The Europa League, was it?
No, he won the conference. Yeah, same one as you lot. Yeah.
He won the conference. You're in it. You win it. Okay, and then he left, and then Decker's left, and then it all changed. I think that Tottenham will stay up. I think West Ham will go down. And as mad as that sounds, I'd rather have Tottenham stay up.
No,
than West Ham. I
know. You're going to get pillaged for that in the comments. There's no
blasphemy,
way.
Yeah, blasphemy.
Look, Spurs, they're just, as Mo says, just an irrelevant club. They're in the Big Six by default. They're a pathetic outfit. They can blame injuries all they like, but everyone gets injuries. You shouldn't be getting relegated, regardless of how many injuries you've got. I know, whatever. ACLs here and there, but come on. This is Tottenham getting relegated. And the thing is, Mark, the reason why I don't want them to stay up, well, outside the obvious, as if it was any other club and they were 16th or 17th the year before and they're a big six club, and then they should be doing what Man United have done. Shit, we were down there last season. We got to go bounce back straight back up in the top four. Spurs, they got even worse. And you think, you know what? You scumbags. You scumbags. You survived by the skin of your teeth last season, losing the most games that any side has ever lost in the Premier League and stayed up. And you replace Fat Ange, and then you scumbags get even worse. You deserve to go down. I hope there's Spurs fans watching this because you are scumbags.
All right, so yeah, facts. All right, cool. Everyone knows we think that Tottenham are scumbags. Of course, we're Chelsea and Arsenal. So are they staying up? Who are West Ham going down? Tottenham staying up? That's what you're.
West Ham going down.
You're thinking.
Tottenham staying up. Spurs masterstroke by getting in Djurbi. It looks like it.
I mean, my hat's off to Djurbi because, you know, when he first got appointed, I specifically said, you know, he's lost the first 5 games at Brighton and it takes a little bit of time to get his message across. And it looks like he's done it sooner than we all thought. Winning back-to-back games, my hat's off to them. But yeah, I freaking hate them. Guys, are they going to stay up? Who is actually going to stay up? Who do you lot think? Who's going to go down? Comment, like, subscribe so you can be checked in the next time we release one. See you in the next one. Peace.